storytellers, and the game changers come together to redefine the landscape of content, creativity, and culture. Pioneers will push healthcare beyond what we ever thought possible. From connected rowers to autonomous flight, from next-gen marine tech to innovations that feed the planet, this is what drives us forward. In the halls of CES, technology doesn't just compute, it collaborates. Quantum thinkers, cybersecurity leaders, fintech visionaries, and robotics engineers are rewriting the rules of enterprise itself. Because when the world's most determined minds come together, we don't just predict the future, we build it. This is where bold ideas meet a global force, where industries converge, partnerships ignite, and breakthroughs take center stage. Innovation isn't a solo act, it's a shared pursuit. CES 2026. Innovators shown up.
Please welcome to the stage, Doug Field, Chief EV, Digital and Design Officer.
Boy, if there's a sign on how much the industry has changed, it's really to look at how dominated CES has. Now, you could just come in and talk about, hey, here's our L2 strategy, here are our L3 plans, here's our new UI, how we're using AI as an assistant. But we want to go through these plans in a more detailed and in a unique approach that is a very, very forward approach. We believe the future of mobility is about a lot more than just moving people around or goods around. It's about moving them intelligently and creating value by making customers' lives easier. And in the case of commercial customers, a lot more productive as well. And we want our customers to get through this transition in a seamless, intuitive, and frankly, effortless way. So, I mean, let's be honest. The goal was really to make transportation less complicated and joyful. How much have we done so far with technology? So self-driving, the way I think about it, it's been around a long time. And it was called chauffeur. And the problem is a chauffeur is a luxury that only a select few can use. And in the way we develop autonomy, we have to make sure we don't repeat that mistake. New technology often starts this way. Groundbreaking innovation starts at the very top of the products in the industry. And then it takes years for the so-called trickle-down effect to bring that technology down into the masses. And by the time it arrives, the next technology is already starting again. And again, it's starting at the top of the product lines. Ford was founded and built on a very different view. The Model T was a breakthrough because it was a Tina, not because it had technology breakthroughs. And Henry's Fords included that the Model T would use the simplest designs that modern engineering can devise. Technology was aimed at simplicity. And that's our aspiration for the future of the digitally enabled vehicle as well. We believe that impactful technology can actually start at the most affordable price points. And that doing it that way not only gets it out to the world faster, but it actually makes us a fitter company. And we'll try and show you why we think that's true. But it can't just be a philosophy or a statement. It has to be a rigorous discipline that we apply across both design and engineering. So if we think about this constraint starting with the bottom of the product lines instead of the top, there are other examples. So smartphones have pretty much taken over the camera market. It's completely now isolated to professional photographers. And why was that? Well, it didn't happen because you could get better images out of your phone than you could get out of your dedicated camera. It was because it was so accessible. It was always worth it. Phones also did that to many of the things we used to do in personal computers. But again, not because they had faster processors or better screens. They did it because it was accessible. It was always there. And it's a lot harder to fit a great camera into a phone or to make it useful for things that the computers do. But that's what changed everything. And that's what moved things forward. So the reality is that really tight constraints on cost and size are enablers of the future if we really embrace them. Some of history's greatest breakthroughs have come from not having enough. Not enough money, not enough space, not enough time out. The other dimension of accessibility is really about the human connection with the technology. Apple was once an underdog. We often forget that, but they stuck to really, really passionate and rigorous principles of ease of use and beauty. And that drove adoption. They demystified technology for customers, and they made what would be not only a utilitarian task, actually a joyful experience. So over the past few years, we've been building a world-class team of designers and human interface experts. And we focused their mission on making the complex not only easy, but joyful. And experience can trump performance just as easily as cost. But great companies that do this kind of work are built on a people story, a talent story. Progress is made by brilliant minds unified by a shared idea. And in this case, that idea is about democratizing technology. It's become a part of how we talk. It's become a part of how we focus our technology efforts. And we can't bring all the people that are passionately following this mission, but we have 3 of their leaders here to represent them. And those teams are a team that's building the very best electronics in the industry, I believe, and doing it fully in-house. A combined team that has both 600 million miles of BlueCruise experience already and some of the best machine learning talent and capabilities out there. An in-house design team that's building these beautiful, joyful, and useful experiences. And they're not only fantastic when we try them in the lab, they make you smile. And this all embodies the best of Detroit ingenuity combined with Silicon Valley innovation, which is really why I came to Florida. So I'm going to ask Sammy to come up and talk to you about one of those 3 foundations. And you will hear from the other 2 right after. Thanks. I'll see you in a few.
Thanks, Doug. Now, to understand how we build the foundation that enables those experiences, let's talk about our approach to advanced driver assistance systems, or ADAS. At Ford, we believe advanced driver technology should be for everyone. And our journey towards that vision is already well on our way. Today, 1.2 million Ford and Lincoln customers are actually driving vehicles that are equipped with BlueCruise hands-free driving systems. We offer BlueCruise in 18 countries across North America, Europe, and China, which is the highest in the industry. Together, those customers have driven more than 500 million miles in total of L2 hands-free highway driving. This vast connected fleet fuels an established data flywheel where every mile driven gives us real-world insights, allowing us to deeply understand and improve system performance. To give you an example of the power of that data flywheel, between BlueCruise 1.0 and 1.4, we improved lane centering stability by 10x, and the time that is uninterrupted in hands-free driving by 20x. In that same period, we saw the usage of BlueCruise increase by 35% on average per customer. That level of customer engagement, that level of customer stickiness is absolutely critical to our subscription business. And given all this success with our current generation BlueCruise, we are taking the next step in this progression. We're going to fully in-house the development of this system. What that means is we're investing in people, in resources and tooling infrastructure to deliver an ADAS platform that is entirely Ford-owned and developed. To achieve this, we've assembled an incredible team of machine learning, robotics, and software experts. To make that happen, 2 years ago, we augmented our existing ADAS team with experts from Argo AI as part of Latitude. This combined team leverages both the expertise of the ADAS team in deploying large-scale BlueCruise across the globe, alongside the deep machine learning and robotics expertise of the Latitude team that is building driverless road assistance. And that team is building our next generation ADAS platform, We are all very excited today to announce that we will launch it first on our all-new affordable universal EV platform in 2027. And then from here on out, our ADAS platform will then proliferate across Ford's vehicle lineup. This focused in-house approach unlocks incredible capability. From enhanced hands-free driving right at launch to traffic lights and intersection handling, unlocking seamless point-to-point autonomy also off-highway. But we are moving beyond pure autonomous driving to meet our customers exactly where they are. By applying that ADAS platform to passions like off-roading and trailering, we ensure that our innovation enhances the moments that matter most to our customers. To give you an example of what I mean, our advanced perception system that powers next generation blue crews can also create highly detailed 3D environment maps that we can use to display to our customers while they're off-roading, giving them a better situational awareness, what's happening around their vehicle as they go in rock climbing, for example. So with the full control of our product roadmap, we unlock truly differentiated features that redefine in-vehicle experience. So while our competitors are throwing more and more sensors and more compute at this problem, we are taking a distinctly different approach. We are laser focused on making advanced driving attainable for all customers. What I mean by that is that our in-house software designed for end-to-end computational efficiency. We are optimizing our sensor and compute architecture, meticulously scrutinizing every bit of compute and sensor we add. As a result, we are not only able to deliver higher capability that I just talked about, but also at a 30% lower cost than today's supplier-based system. This is a really big deal that allows us to democratize this technology and truly scale this across our fleet. We believe that none of our competitors can match that. And today we are thrilled to announce that L3 Eyes Off Driving will be public road ready in 2028 on our UV platform. By engineering this L3 capability in-house on our UEV platform, we plan to deliver eyes-off technology at an attainable price point. So launching our most advanced automated driving system on the UEV platform is a strategy that stands in stark contrast to competitors. They're launching their most advanced ADAS systems on their most expensive vehicles, then usually trickle down. So we're taking that very distinct different approach. Now, building this demands the right hardware. So that's where my colleague Paul is going to come in to explain how we are creating that foundation to make all of that possible. Thank you.
Delivering those next generation advanced driver assistance technologies requires new levels of compute performance. Democratizing technology requires us to be really focused on size and cost. And here's the problem. In electronics design, size, cost, and performance are at odds with each other. You can always optimize performance and get more performance by sacrificing size or cost. In fact, we've seen a lot of that in the auto industry recently. But oftentimes to achieve the kind of architectural balance that you would need to optimize all three of these simultaneously is just often not possible. To even attempt it required us to really rethink our hardware and software architectures to be not just more, but to also be more efficient. And this is really fundamental to our Ford values of designing for everyone. And this is where our in-house electronics design team goes in. Much of this team came into Ford through an acquisition from BlackBerry in 2017, where they had honed their skills in the ultra-competitive cell phone market. And now in Ford, they've added to that skill set automotive requirements around things like enhanced reliability and functional safety. Their first modules for us included things like our telematics unit and our most recent sync systems, which have kept our vehicles always connected for a number of years now. And this has been a huge success for Ford. We've shipped 35 million in-house modules with excellent hardware performance, well exceeding industry standards. We're talking about 10 million modules per year in growing. And this is all while producing significant cost savings of hundreds of millions of dollars a year compared to supplier-based modules. And central to our upcoming universal electric vehicle architecture is our high-performance compute center. This is more than just a computer. This proprietary in-house module is custom designed to be the brains of the vehicle. This single compact module combines infotainment, ADAS, audio, and networking, and is really a great showcase of Ford's electrical engineering leadership. This module has achieved the trifecta of electronics design, notably higher performance, cheaper, and 44% smaller than the modules that it's replacing. When you add to this the in-house zonal controllers, modems, and electric propulsion, we now make all of the critical electronics for the vehicle in-house. And this isn't just about cost savings. This is really critical to Ford's long-term in-house software strategy as well. This really fulfills a decade-long vision for us at Ford. And it's by controlling the hardware and the software that we really get to democratize these technologies and make them available for everyone and not just the privileged few. It's these advanced architectures that allow us to implement the elegant and seamless experiences that Doug talked about earlier. And now Jay's going to come up and show you what he and his team are doing to take this platform and then bring it to life for our customers.
What's that? We're right here. How's everyone going?
Great.
Excellent. So what Paul and Sammy just described is precisely what's going to enable us to deliver the new Ford DNA and a holistic digital experience. And our digital design team represents a really powerful new discipline for Ford. It's internal digital product design. We've been building this capability from the ground up, combining deep design expertise within Ford, and also infusing new outside talent, world-class talent from the outside. We've also developed a new design language, and it enables us to create customer experiences with a distinct Ford DNA that's more cohesive and capable of serving a diverse customer at scale. Think of everything Sammy and Paul just shared as a foundation for what you're about to see. I'm going to now show you some conceptual vignettes of how we're bringing this to life. So today, most of us use situational awareness to understand the vehicle surroundings and a map app for direction. Then you still might have to still use it to search, to look for something up. Our vision is a future where all of these converge seamlessly. You'll see in the video how turn-by-turn direction merge with the situational awareness, and we'll build a rich worldview where relevant points of interest, like neighborhood recommendations, are intelligently displayed. So by making every journey more seamless experience. Also, we believe physical and digital intelligence will converge. We can create dynamic user experience, even when you're off-road, leveraging perceptions that Sam talked about. So imagine traveling off-road with a group of friends. The interface zooms out to show challenges ahead, vehicle auto-adjust suspension and traction settings. Once you reach that difficult terrain, the map seamlessly focuses the close-up eagle vehicle or a virtual spotter view. So now you can navigate with confidence. Finally, we're looking at how agentic AI will unlock even more proactive capabilities. Imagine you're headed to the mountains when the system detects an unexpected shift in the road condition. The AI proactively brings up live IB feed
letting you know that change controls are not effective. Because our intelligence knows your vehicle tire doesn't meet the current requirement, it locates a nearby store with exact change you need. Once you accept, the vehicle automatically has the store as your next stop. We believe intelligence doesn't just need to react to your commands, but anticipate your needs. So our vision for our customer is elementary. It's simple, but not elementary. It's a seamless layer of intelligence that travels with you between your phone and your vehicle. We call this Ford AI Assistant. It becomes an intelligent thread that connects every moment of your journey. While I'm showing you a bit about how we think about the future, I also want to talk about what we're doing today. We asked ourselves, what if we could build an intelligent assistant that could reach many Ford customers as possible, regardless of what Ford you're driving, that knows your vehicle and takes actions for you? Let me show you how it does. First, we're putting the first powerful Ford AI system directly into your hands, literally. Targeting the early half of 2026, it will arrive in your Ford and Lincoln app. And why start with that first? Because it allows us to reach more people quickly and in a thoughtful way. It means you don't have to wait for the new vehicle to experience the future of Ford intelligence. Let me show you how it works. Now I'm going to tell AI Assistant I'm going off-roading. The system provides clear visual instructions, then goes a step further. It flags that my tires are overinflated for the terrain and suggests I go to Baja mode. The system provides clear visual instructions. This was beyond a traditional AI experience. It understands my vehicle, my environment, my context, making every adventure easier and smarter. This next one is a personal favorite because it shows the power of having AI right in my pocket. I'm at a home improvement store standing in front of bag of mulch, then open up the camera app from my Ford app, just snap a photo of these bags, and I'll ask, how many of these will fit on my truck bed? The system calculates the volume and confirms I can fit 35 bags, based specifically on the dimensions and capacity of my truck. It is a seamless experience, showing how we are thinking differently, integrating Ford-specific data with your real-world needs. This is just the beginning. The true magic, happens when this intelligent thread extends into your vehicle. Targeting 2027 rollout, the same Ford AI Assistant will be seamlessly integrated into iconic vehicles. Our goal is that this powerful technology serves more customers, not just some, helping to make Ford experiences more intuitive, more personal, and ultimately more enjoyable. And to talk more about this vision and how these converged experiences allow Ford to build for the millions of customers we serve today, I'll hand it back to Doug.
So much of automotive technology today is a race for more. Every vehicle wants to go faster, more displays, more megapixels, more tops, more sensors. It all has a huge cost. And it's what makes technology a luxury and a high-priced add-on for a few instead of many. So what we've tried to give you a glimpse into today is how our strategy around affordable technology is not only driving the vehicles that we build, like the universal electric vehicle, but has really become a thread across Ford into how we introduce new technologies. It's a manifestation of a really focused and integrating strategy on democratization, not pursuing technology as a need. You also can't hand a mission like this to the outside. That knowledge of those constraints that really drives the obsession that brings cost and size down. can't be outsourced. And too many companies have outsourced the whole soul of their machines in an attempt to keep up. So we chose a more difficult path, and one that primarily relies on building fantastic teams. And I'm really proud of the work that they're doing. Having a team here that was now mastering the hardware, the software, and the design experience, integrates them all seamlessly, is what creates the magic and creates the future. And we see that future as making the most advanced work that we do attainable. This is the spirit of the Model T, reimagined for the age of silicon. And it's not limited to vehicles. We're doing a lot of work, as you saw, with the AI system and with Jay. It's going to be part of an intelligent Ford ecosystem that understands you, your job, and your joy as you move through miles in your life. We want this to be for everyone. So thank you. And I would like at this point to invite up Ed Lowe, and he will put us to the test by asking some tough questions.
Thanks, Doug. So super impressive. We got a timer going. Got so many questions. How to get right to them. So,
I don't know what they are.
yeah, he does not know what they are. I'm going to spring some real good ones on the multi-part questions. Democratizing tech, bringing costs down. It sounds tremendous. The demos were fantastic. Paul said in-house about 100 times. You just said outsource. You don't outsource. The other companies are outsourcing their soul. So this sounds a lot like vertical integration, which is something that the auto industry has gone through. It does ostensibly started. How far does this? First of all, is that accurate? Is that sort of accurate? What Ford is doing, and how far does it go? Does it include building your own? So
I think there's a couple of different reasons you vertically integrate. And one that certainly Tesla trailblazed was the ingredients that they needed to build a great electric car. They just didn't exist. They had to build a gigafactory because batteries to build an electric car weren't out there. There was no silicon that could support a self-driving vehicle. They had to use alignment. So it is sometimes a case of you have to build it because it doesn't exist. There are other cases where you want to build it yourself because you can have control over cost and quality. So the industry is in a very different place than it was, 10 years ago when we were just getting started on some of these technologies, and there's more choices. So I think you have to be very choosy about what you want to vertically integrate in, and whether your vertical integration is about controlling the design, which is a separate decision from do you want to control the entire production. And if you walk around here right now, there are some really great choices on silicon. And the work that we've done around compute efficiency actually gives us more choices than we would have if we needed tons and tons of computing. So right now, that's not where we see the biggest opportunity for Ford to lead in.
okay, sounds like no.
Right, I'll try to
Okay. No, it's good. It's good clarity. So in bringing the cost down, right? We've heard a lot about how you're going to do it. Motor Trend is all about consumers, about the cars they want to buy. And there's certainly a segment that really wants like a base model vehicle at the lowest cost possible. New car buyers do care about that value, but really only to a certain degree. Not a lot of people really want something that's super basic and cheap. What are you going to put into the UEV that will get people to the set?
really good stuff.
Anything particular? I didn't mean to offend the other guys who showed off some of these features. Is there anything in particular you want to hint at?
We're going to unveil, I think, a lot more. We started with the UEV as a platform and how we were going to produce it. We're going through some of the tech now. We're not really going to talk a ton about that, but we think we have a unique approach where the customer can pick their digital experience and actually change it over time without it burning the base vehicle. And I'll just leave it at that right now. But we have some, I think, really exciting stuff to show that.
I'm going to go through a couple of your colleagues' presentations here. I'll start with Jay's. How are you going to get people to use the Ford digital system? And I say this because right now I have at least 4 maybe 5 AI assistants on the phone. I got Perplexity, I got Gemini, I got Rock, I got ChatGPT. And while he was doing his demo, I fired up one of them. I asked, hey, how many bags of standard size wolf fit in the back of a 2025 F-150? I didn't submit a picture. I did get kind of a garbage answer. It was like 30 to 60. So that's not super helpful. But it's kind of like everyone here, you guys have Netflix or Hulu or something on your TV. You probably have 5 of these things, but you're probably only really using 1 or 2, right? And how do you make it so that the customers may use your app when they could use something else?
Well, you have to earn it. And we're going to have to give answers that you can get from other sources. So in that example, you don't have to tell the kind of vehicle you have. It can use cameras to know whether there's already stuff in the bed. It can look at the occupant sensors and say, hey, 4 people just got out of the vehicle. I got to subtract them from the payload of the vehicle. It knows your tire pressures. And it knows all the specs of the vehicle down to the exact powertrain. So you can be on the dealer lots looking in RVs, take a picture. It can not only tell you if you can tow it, but it can say, okay, if you buy this, I'm going to change it around in terms of where you stop for gas because it's going to consume more gas. So we have to create value. And every time we talk about the things we want to do in the AI system, it's always like, well, try it with ChatGPT, try it with Dark. If you can only get the answer, that's not where we should be spending our time.
Okay, interesting. Cool. Okay. Now this one's got a little spicy. I think it was Sammy who said we scrutinize every bit of compute and sensor we add because you guys are laser focused on delivering an L2 and an L3 system that are performant, but also cost efficient. So what does your perception stack, will it include LiDAR?
Which perception stack?
For yeah.
So for L2, we believe that radar is still a really good tool. And I think we're pretty careful not to be dogmatic about you must have radar, you must have LiDAR, and instead look at what each of them play as you roll, and then be very careful about how you assign the requirements to that sensor. And radar is really good as a complementary sensor to cameras because it is good at different things. And I think similarly, when you get to the level of L3, we're not going to be dogmatic about LiDAR. And we also have the opportunity of a lot of industry work and choosing to be highway L3 and choosing specific capabilities in our processor and our stack allows us to be really focused about what LiDAR we might want to use. And for it to have a set of requirements that are affordable and available now. So it's a good tool and we're likely to use it, but we're going to be very specific about what we use it for. And we're going to be very prescriptive about the specs we need out of it because we own the full stack and all the sensors.
There's a little bit of a hedge there, which I get. And what I'm going to do, though, is forget what you just said and ask you the spicy question, which is, look, Ford was the first to adopt the North American charging standard. They looked at CCS and they said, look, NACS is bad. And I'm sure you had something to do with that. I think I know you had something to do with that. And after Ford announced it, the majority of the industry has switched now to NACS. The cars are coming with the port. I can take a Lightning. I've done it. Pull up to a Tesla supercharging station. No problem. It's awesome. Why wouldn't Ford adopt FSD starting with version 14? It's a really good. I FSD in here from my driveway home. I pulled it right in the parking garage. I touched the steering wheel less than 5 times.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But each of the 5 times you touched it, was it because you wanted to or because you had to?
It was because it kept putting me in the HOV lane and I want person in a car.
Yeah. I think FSD is amazing. And, very high percentage of the time it does a really great job. But when it doesn't, it really doesn't. In a pretty brittle way. And we've developed even Blue Cruise in a way that is a little different that, if the customer wants to affect how the car's working, you can give it a nudge in steering, you know, all of a sudden bang out of autonomy and have to take the whole thing over yourself. So we could, it's, you know, it's not at the level yet where I think Ford standards for all the different things that we would expect out of an autonomy stack. It's not there yet. But we have to be humble and recognize that, yeah, if it's out there and it's affordable, and we will absolutely have those conversations. But right now we're really focused on getting L2 and L3 as widely deployed as possible on UEV first.
Okay. Oof. Okay. 5 minutes. All right. This is a 3-part question. And the setup isn't really for you because you know all this stuff. It's really for the audience. But hopefully it's a good one. So your boss, our good friend, Mr. Farley, has been quite vocal about how good the Chinese EVs are. Very vocal. Some say too vocal. Many of these Chinese auto manufacturers have sedans and compact SUVs that are within 1 kilometers of the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y and are spec'd similarly from battery, from range, performance, sensor suite, the whole thing. You were hired by GM for your impressive resume building Model 3 and also your time at Apple. And, you know, that vehicle, of course, became the Y and so on and so on. So here's the actual question. Of course, you're applying a lot of that Tesla and Apple will design thinking all the way probably back to Segway and Ford. What will Tesla and the Chinese EV makers, Jim raves about, learn from Ford when they tear down the EV? Because they're going to do it.
I dream of that day. Yeah, we've already had Sandy tear it down a little bit of power a little bit, and we have some good quotes from him. Boy, there's so many different parts of that. I think, you know, the Model 3 was a real breakthrough in how to build a car and run into great things. This is another step. So I think how you put the car together is something that's going to piss off a lot of people. Okay, well, in a good way. The cost that comes through just elegance and simplicity. It's one of those things where the solution isn't obvious, but as soon as you see it, you're like, that's the way they're all going to be. But of course, everyone's going to do that. And I think there's also business dimensions to how we set things up, like our ability to produce LFP in the US. I'm already never had some people off. So I think there'll be a lot of different areas, but we have to stay humble. And the Chinese are a huge force to be reckoned with. And if we're going to beat them, you only get temporary relief from things like tariffs. It's temporary. It buys you time. But you know, as we start to look at some of the other hybrids that we're building, we have certain components or systems we take from the EV, and we go out and compare it to what we buy, including from China. In some cases, what we are undercutting significantly. So we're optimistic, but humble. A lot of it just to be done to prove all of this. A lot of work.
Well, I like how it said, I asked you what they're going to learn, and you've replied to all the stuff that's going to this month, which is fantastic.
Let me think about it and kind of encourage each other in that way.
Right. Okay. So we got a little bit of time with it. One of the things we talked way back, and they're very helpful in sort of getting my head around software-defined vehicles. And one of the things you said to me very early on was that the thing that people will buy, I mean, this is broadly applies to not only cars, but mobile phones, technology, are features and benefits that give you your time back. These are the things that are arguably most valuable thing. Is there anything you can tell us about the features that are coming or the things that will do that for the Ford Five? It's going to make them really walk those with them.
So I think when we think about saving time, actually, one of the biggest places we focus is on the commercial market, because the time is money, and a vehicle off the road is money. and paying people to do a bunch of things rather than actually, move their goods or serve a customer is money. So it's much, you have much more direct correlation of the time to value of the customer. So things that we're doing around fleet management, like predictive repair, so the vehicle isn't actually off the road, are becoming a big part of the focus on time. L3 is obviously a huge one for consumers. And there are others, but I think in consumers, a lot of it is lightening the load. Some of it's time, but it's also like the complexity of having to go pull out a user manual or look up what the payload is and things like that versus just smoothly jumping right through that process.
Yeah. Okay, last question. I want to bring it back to the beginning. You showed the slide, talked about Detroit Model T, the origins of Ford. And then you hired this great team, all these experts, and brought them in-house, and you built up this place in Long Beach. You're building up the UVV. Why couldn't this have been done in Europe?
Well, a lot of it has.
Okay.
Each of the three folks that came up here started with some really, really great work that had been done at Ford. Stanley started with a team that had made huge progress with Blue Cruise long before I was here or he was here. And then, what with the new team from Argo, I just tried to accelerate it. The team that started in Long Beach, it wasn't very long before, we had the advanced manufacturing people from Ford that came in and started working with us on how we build a vehicle, making that part of the innovation. So I think the key is having new skills that might not exist, but I think more than that, it's having the environment, having learned from the environments that are created to let people innovate, and then finding the right people, both inside and outside of Ford, that have been looking for the opportunity of that environment and looking for the opportunity of doing something fundamentally different. But we have a whole skunkworks building in Dearborn, as well as Long Beach. And we are entering a phase as well where everyone is going to say to maybe a startup, like, why didn't you do it the way Ford did on the tailing and bringing this thing into production? And it's because I don't have Ford. So it's the team is, I'm so incredibly proud of how that has been an output of this whole journey of the UEV and these technology threads. But the power has always been trying to combine the best of a larger VM and the best of the technology industry. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's where the magic occurs.
Where?
Ford's really good at a whole bunch of things, including cost.
Yes. Yes. Where? We gave you our Shop of the Year award this year. So just nothing but the Maverick. Congratulations for the 14 at the Maverick.
I can't take any credit. Right. All three of us had enough, or all four of us had nothing to do with that. It's a great project. It's a great project.
Are we out of time? Or one hilarious question?
Go ahead, Dad.
All right, here's an hilarious question. Ford Universal Electric Vehicle, when you did the condition presentation on the summit, I watched it. I said, did nobody, this is how they knew this. F-E-A, really? F. That's not. Sorry. That's the
all the acronyms are taken these days. So, but the Universal Electric Vehicle actually came from Ford's. They actually had an emblem and a badge and on some cars, the Universal Vehicle, which we just loved because Universal is this whole theme of democratization, universally accessible, universally useful. So we really, that was more important than us than getting in trouble. Yeah.
Well, I know that it's very specific now. Ford, you guys are trying to know, especially this is it's very catchy, and I look forward to driving against the and hopefully getting ready again.
Oh yeah, the team really looks forward to letting you try that. I think you'll be very delighted. Okay, thank you, Ed. See you.
But right in there. What do you got going on now?
Nothing. I have a 6:30 demo, after hours demo with Qualcomm. We got to run through all their questions. So this is the last one.
Yeah.
So I went to the NXP. Go ahead.
Just saying that,